Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on? Welcome to the Believes Crypto Show. My name is Believes. We're here to talk about this crazy crypto world, and we're going to focus today on something just a tiny bit different. We're going to talk about why is Bitcoin so important, and what we're seeing right now in this market is a paradigm shift in the way money is transacted, and Bitcoin is at the forefront of that charge. Now, you might be looking around saying to yourself, well, gold is running super hot right now, and that is true. But Bitcoin is better than gold. Now, it won't be if you ask a gold maxi, because they will say, well, you can't wear a Bitcoin chain. You can't do anything with Bitcoin, and you have to have energy and electricity in order to do anything with it. Yeah, and you also have to hold your gold with you, and you have to carry your gold around. Do you know how heavy gold is? So what you say is not really that true, because you might have a gold necklace, you might have a gold watch, you might have a gold band around your finger, you might have some doubloons that you can walk around with, but people don't really transact with that. They use fiat. So it is a difficult thing. Now, the question is, how do we make it easier? And there are some obstacles still to Bitcoin. But why is Bitcoin so important? We're in a digital age, a digital society, a place where money is losing its meaning and digital currency is gaining. So it stands to reason that one of the better pieces, or one of the biggest pieces to this, is what is the best crypto for a store of value. Now, if you go back and you talk about how much Bitcoin it took to buy a house, there was a time when it took something like 20,000 Bitcoin to buy a house. Today, you can buy a reasonable, moderately priced house for 3 Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has survived inflation. Bitcoin has survived the devaluation of fiat currency. Bitcoin has survived everything. And Penguin says, we going down. Word in town is that the bull run is over. Yes, that is true if you're stupid. If you're stupid, then the bull run is over. If you find the dumbest analysts in the world, if you find the stupidest financial analyst in the world, they will all agree the bull run is over. That's just ridiculous. Okay. We are not in a spot right now where that even makes any sense. By the way, I'm going to move around a little bit here. My big head on the screen. Jesus Christ. Anyway. So, and we're going to talk about all that, and we're going to talk about more, and we're going to figure it out. And by the way, when we say the bull run is over, we're at $3.6 trillion market cap, which is 20% higher than the top of the last bull run. And that's what we're saying. It makes no sense whatsoever. So we're about to go so much higher. Why do I know that? Money supply. We're about to go so much higher. Why do I know that? Gold pumping. There you go. Now, they trapped people like they did earlier this year. I don't know who they is, by the way, but Wintermute did something that it is my belief that what Wintermute did was under the direction of the Chinese government. You probably won't be able to convince me otherwise, because if they don't do what the Chinese government wants, then they don't get to do what they want in China. So, and Wintermute is a Chinese market maker. So The question would be, or at least the most appropriate question is why? And again, I think it was to move the markets. And I think it was to send a message to Donald Trump that China still controls money, still has a lot of asset, and is still one of the kings of currency in the world. So what you saw when Donald Trump made a post was, and that was coincidence, by the way. That was a coincidence, by the way. But what you saw was Donald Trump made a post talking about China. China's already pissed off. China orders Wintermute to dump on the market. Wintermute moved $1 billion worth of cash into Binance before dumping their holdings. And then, of course, using that $1 billion to buy it all back so that they could profit one more time. They were using the Max Payne method. And they were taking these giant amounts of crypto that they have, and they were manipulating the market, and they were doing it just to let Donald Trump know, you're not really in charge. China is really in charge. And now the question is China really in charge? I don't think the answer to that is yes. If the answer to that was yes, then I think we would have seen a deeper cut. So, and Derek Hine has an important point. Yesterday, they used the gold dip to trap people in Bitcoin or whatever it is, whatever digital asset that you think is going to pump. And to be fair, 60% of the time when gold dumps, Bitcoin pumps. So it was just another continuation of what always happens, or at least what usually happens. But the question is actually very simple. Does risk asset go up when money supply goes up? Does it? Does risk asset go up when money supply goes up? And the answer to that is going to be an astounding, of course it does, dum-dum. Like, you know what I mean? No, I didn't say you are, because you said the word in town. So whoever lives in your town that's giving you those words, they're stupid, not you. You're just listening to a stupid person. Also, by the way, we're up on the day. We're now positive. Between positive and negative on the day, it's just kind of moving around and ranging at this point. Dow Jones down 87 points on the day. BNB up 2 points on the day. Like, it's very, very simple. And by the way, for anybody who's wondering, there is a simple, not even complicated metric here. This yellow line right here. As you can see, all of the peaks, all of the valleys are maintained. All of the peaks and all of the valleys continue with the price of cryptocurrency compared to money supply. What is money supply doing right now? Money supply is continuing to surge and continuing to pump. So what does that mean for digital assets? Why would digital assets be going down if the money train is still continuing to print? It's a very simple, uncomplicated question. And you won't be able to answer that because you've never been able to answer that. Because it's going to continue to go up. Funny, my risk assets were worth more with a lower money supply. I didn't say that you put it in the right assets. Look, just because it's pumping doesn't make you a genius. Doesn't mean that you or I or anybody picked the right project. It doesn't mean that we picked the right risk asset, because the right risk asset is right here. It's Bitcoin. It's been doing it since the beginning. If you had taken all of your money out in 2023, if you had taken on all $50,000 or whatever it is that you're playing with right now in December of 22 going into January of 23, and you would have followed the plan of the 4-year cycle, if you would have taken your 50 grand out at 17,000 or 16,000 or wherever Bitcoin was, you would be sitting right now at, what is the number today? 108,000. You'd be up 8x. So your 50,000 would now be 400,000. And you would be looking at this market and saying, I can't believe we're in this amazing bull run. You wouldn't, because you would have made a good decision about where your money should go, and you would have put it into the biggest asset that we know was going to move, which was Bitcoin. Bitcoin leads the entire market, and we say that over and over again. But do we follow that all the time? No, because we're all looking for that bigger and better deal. We're all looking for that one big run. We're all looking for that next 1000x. We're all looking for the next shit. We're all looking for the next Dogecoin. We're all looking for all of those things. but the market is still the market. And the market says that Bitcoin is absolutely running. And it's continuing to absolutely run. Not that long ago, going into it at 126,000, you would have been up, what, 9x? So you'd be up at 450,000? Off of a simple $50,000 investment in December of 2022, you'd be at $400,000 right now. So is the market working? It absolutely is. Is it working for you? Well, that depends on where you put your money. Now, the fact that we don't have an altcoin season doesn't mean that Bitcoin is not running. Does not mean that Ethereum didn't just match its all-time high just a short while ago. Also, when it matches its all-time high, there are corrective periods. The last time we saw a correction was this right here, and then it came back up for a double top, which we saw again. Then guess what happened? It came back for another test after a little consolidation. And then what happened? It broke out to another all-time high. Why? Money supply continuing to flow upwards. So what's going to happen right now? Well, money supply is going to continue to flow upward, and we're going to continue to see a pump out of risk assets. It's very simple. You've complicated it by not playing the game the way the game is designed. Okay. By the way, I'm not saying that I'm any different. I've complicated it by not playing the game the way it was designed. If I had thrown 50 grand into Bitcoin at that point, we'd have 3 Bitcoin right now. 3 Bitcoin would be worth, what's the number right now? 108,000. 3 Bitcoin. Well, I guess we would have got 3.5 Bitcoin, but it would be worth 425,000 right now. 420,000 right now. 420. Look at that. So we made bad decisions about where to put the money because we're stupid. Starting with me on this one, not Penguin. We're stupid because we should have probably paid attention to Bitcoin more. A fundamental mistake that I will not make going forward. This is going to be, to me, the way of the world. Bitcoin is, to me, it's real important to be in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the one that's going to 1 million. Bitcoin is the one going to 500,000. It's going to go to 250,000. Is everything else? I don't know. I think Ethereum is going to have a nice little run. But the question really is, why is Bitcoin important? Well, why is everybody doing this? The answer to that is because they're scared of money. They're scared of fiat currency. They're scared of the federal government. They're scared of the world governments. They're scared that people are asserting dominance and control off of their own sovereignty. And that's what Bitcoin represents. It represents a shift in the way money is transacted. And why does that matter? Well, first of all, let's talk about the traits of money. Fungible, which means that it's transferable and interchangeable. All money, crypto, fiat, and gold registers high in that regard. Non-consumable, all registers high. Portability, moderate for gold, high for fiat, high for crypto. Durable, fiat is paper currency or coins. Gold, durable, high. Crypto, durability, high. Highly divisible, Bitcoin, absolutely. Fiat, no. Gold, no. Moderately. Secure, cannot be counterfeited. Duh. These two, we talk about gold counterfeiting all the time. We talk about fiat. We talk about people doing that kind of shit constantly. Counterfeiting is a gigantic business. Easily transactable, not gold. You can't walk into your local grocery store and say, hey, bro, what if I just gave you gold for my groceries? It doesn't work that way. But you can use money and you can use crypto in terms of all you have to have is a Coinbase credit card, a crypto.com credit card, any one of these crypto credit cards. And all you have to do is transfer your money over to that. And basically, it's like a prepaid Visa or a prepaid MasterCard, and boom, you are transacting. It is simple. It is simple to do. Or just have your wallet attached so that you can do it without even having to make a transfer. It's simple. Scarcity. Is the scarcity on gold real? By the way, I read this the other day, and it made me laugh so hard. The largest repository of gold was just excavated in somewhere in South Africa. The largest gold mine in history was just discovered, and they were like, oh my God, there's so much. And by the way, gold's not scarce. gold is a readily available metal. It's only precious in so much as people see it as a store of value. It is not scarce in any way. It is manipulated because the gold miners create the supply. So that part is scarce, but gold overall, tons of it everywhere. Tons of it everywhere. Fiat currency scarcity is very low. Crypto scarcity is very high. Sovereign, government issued, gold low, Bitcoin low, fiat very high. Decentralized, none of them except for crypto, which means that somebody controls it. I just explained to you the gold miners and the people that you get gold from, the clearinghouses and stuff, they keep it scarce. They keep it, they do it the way they want to do it so that they can then sell out the back door. So the next one is fiat currency, which is issued to you by your local government, whoever that local government may be. That means they control your money. They control your money supply. They control everything. Bitcoin, crypto, you don't have that same issue. Are they programmable? None of them are programmable except Bitcoin. So why is Bitcoin better? Because Bitcoin in every way is better. In every way possible, Bitcoin is better than everything else that you can possibly transact with. And look, if you're old and you don't like the internet, you don't like energy usage and stuff like that, and you see a problem with that, it's fair enough that you don't think, that you've lived in a time where you didn't have the internet. If you lived in that time frame or something like that, it's fair for you to think, well, you know what, anything could go wrong, and you would be right in saying that. But I think the grid's going to work, and I think the grid's going to be fine. Will there be hiccups? I was there for a hiccup, by the way, just so you guys understand. In 2003, I lived in Cleveland, Ohio. And while I lived in Cleveland, Ohio, the entire East Coast lost power. And I think it was like 3 days. We were out of power for 3 days because one spot at Niagara Falls, at an energy plant in Niagara Falls, or a power, I don't know what kind of plant it was actually, but the biggest piece on the generator broke, and it was cast like 106 years before. So this gigantic steel piece was 106 years old, and it just broke, and they had to recast it. They didn't even have the casting module to recast it because it had been so long. They were just like, why am I storing this? I'll never need this again. And so power was out on the East Coast, and I mean New York, I mean all of the East Coast, for 3 straight days. It was crazy. And we were living by candlelight at that point. So there is a moment where I can see that we could have a problem, but the problem won't last. The problem would be temporary. Okay, the problem would be temporary, and nobody is going to start breaking down gold in order to make anything happen. Okay, we're going to convert it to US dollar. We're going to use the fiat system, if not the fiat dollars, to predict what the value is going to be. And then you're just going to be able to swipe and push the money towards somebody or something like that. I mean, it's easy. Bitcoin is better than everything else. It's simple. Okay. And remember something. You control your crypto. The government controls your fiat. And the holding companies, the clearing houses, and the miners control your gold. It's very simple. Now, you might say this: are there weaknesses to Bitcoin? Are there problems with Bitcoin? Sure. There's the 51% attack, which actually happened with one of the miners. I want to say it was in 2011. One of the miners gained a 51% control, and they were noble in their purpose, and what they did is immediately divested because they were now in control of the network, and they now controlled Bitcoin, and they gave it up immediately so as not to do something like that. So it has happened before. Could it happen again? Then becomes the question. And really, at this point, it's one of value. Could it happen again? Yes, because listen, Michael Saylor holds 800,000 Bitcoin. The largest holder, I think, holds 1 million Bitcoin. There's about let's just say about 18 million right now in circulation. And I'm spitballing that. But there's about 18 million in circulation. You need about 9.5 million in order to assert control. Who's going to come up with the money for 9.5 million? Elon Musk does not have the money to take control of Ethereum. He's the richest man in the world. So there's not a single entity at this point, I don't think, that can control it. And as the market cap continues to go up, I think that it's going to be even more and more and more and more difficult. And as people like you and me understand more of what's going on with Bitcoin, I think it becomes even more complicated and even more difficult. BlackRock holds 1 million Bitcoin. Michael Saylor owns 1 million Bitcoin. If they got together they got 2 million Bitcoin. So there is a path where there could be a problem, but that problem also exists with gold. That problem also exists with fiat currency, because remember, we just said, if you're not paying attention, I'm going to tell you something right now that you're not going to like. And do you know why you're not going to like it? The only reason you're not going to like it is because you are in a cult. And you don't like it when I say that. But the person that you worship is alive. And that means that you are in a cult. Do you have any idea who that might be? You don't? You have no idea who that be? Hillary Clinton, obviously. Come on, dum-dum. Hillary Clinton. If you follow Hillary Clinton, you're in a cult. She is your president, after all. She's tearing down the White House. Like, what is this bitch doing? What is wrong with her? You know what I mean? It's crazy. Anyway, actually, I forgot what I was going to say at that point. So I just lost my train of thought, and I was like, oh my God, am I high? And I'm not. But anyway, I guess you're going to get a break there on that one. But I did lose my mind, by the way, for a second. So let's go on to Kobayashi. We just witnessed history. Yesterday, gold prices fell 5.7%, marking the largest one-day drop since April. This is around 4.5 sigma move. In other words, such a large move only happens in 1 out of 240,000 days in the normal world. What does it mean? Let us explain. Gold price drivers are having widespread implication on market. The macroeconomy is shifting, and stocks, commodities, bonds, and crypto are investable. I think she is a cult leader. My fellow brothers and sisters, I come here not to praise Donald Trump, but to bury him. I think that man is bad. I think it's so bad. And you know what he does that's so bad? Bad stuff. Things that aren't good. You know, bad. Or something like that. I just assume that that's kind of the way that she does it. Anyway, so back to it, because I can't have too much fun with her. Macroeconomy shifting. The global M2 money supply is about to hit 140 trillion for the first time in history. In just 6 months, global money supply has surged by $8 trillion. Investors are losing confidence in fiat. Follow us. And by the way, that's what's happening. Okay. Gold extends 2-day losses to 8%, erasing 2.5 trillion of market cap, meaning that money eventually will find its way into crypto. It will find its way into crypto. First of all, please understand, everything about our economy operates under the basis of greed. And the fact that greed is what drives us, and that greed is good, and all that crap from a movie, by the way. From a movie, like, God damn it, stop thinking about it. Man, your brain think shouldn't come from movie. Well, I thought in a movie, so greed must be good. What the fuck is happening? Anyway, so gold losses continue to extend. Gold losses continue to come down. All of that shit that Peter Schiff said the other day, I guess now doesn't apply. Now, greed still drives the markets. It still does everything for us. So at the end of the day, here's what matters the most. What matters the most is that people who are investors will still go invest. Nothing is going to change. They're not all going to take their money and go home. It doesn't work that way. By the way, Lump Community is trending. Ooh, what is going on there? Oh, by the way, the Market Maker 2.0 is going on to test center. So we're going to find out whether or not this is going to burn. And then we're going to remove the burn tax, I think, at 1.5% from the Terra Luna Classic ecosystem right now. Still necessary, still a driving force. But I think it has to be removed. And by the way, that is somebody's opinion. I disagree with it. To me, I think at this point, it's done. I think what we need to do is we need to remove the burn tax right now from Terra Luna Classic and go with all of the other burn protocols that exist. By the way, Binance still continuing to do its burns. We'll see if they continue to do it with if we stop the burn tax on the chain, would they continue to do the burn every month, stuff like that? You know what I mean? But Luna Classic having the potential exists for a revival of Terra Luna Classic. That market module is very important. That Juris protocol launch is going to be very important. There's a lot of things that are happening in the Luna Classic ecosystem that we'll get to at a later point. By the way, Terraport, Terra Casino, that's where you go if you want to talk about Terra Luna Classic. But onto the Kobayashi, we still have a dip here in the gold market. Let's move on. Let's go look at what's going on in the bull market, and no peak indicators are hit. So anybody who's telling you, Penguin, anybody who's telling you that we're going down is not paying attention to any signals. They're not paying attention to any signals. They're just saying the market has dipped. That must mean it's over. And by the way, the last time Bitcoin dipped and it went to 75,000 and tested the range over there after hitting over 100,000, they probably said the same thing. They probably said, oh, it's over. It's all done. I can't believe this is happening right now. We're going to go down to like 20,000. I mean, every time the market dips, they're going to say that. But after the dip comes the rip. And we're still not done yet. We're still not done yet. Money supply says we are still not done yet. People fleeing, running from, getting away from fiat currency tells me that they are coming into crypto. And by the way, the reason that we don't have it, I'll tell you, I'm going to tell, it's not a secret, okay? It's not a secret. The reason that crypto is not pumping right now, the Clarity Act, the lack of the Clarity Act is why it's not pumping right now. The government shutdown is why it's not pumping right now. The trade wars and the tariff wars, let's call it. That's why it's not pumping. Those don't last forever. Stop overthinking something very, very simple. Okay. People are fleeing money. People are fleeing money. We still need it because it still drives and transacts for us. So we still need fiat currency, but people are rapidly moving away. Now, that is hurting the banking system. That's hurting a lot of different systems. Remember, the default on loans right now is at an all-time high. Thanks, Donald Trump. I'm just kidding. It wasn't Donald Trump, but you know what I mean. Like did your head explode right now? Did it? You know what you're in if you did, right? Really, it was just Joe Biden. But the fact that I said Donald Trump, I know made some of you go, oh, damn it. You know what I mean? And for some reason, that brings me joy. That brings me joy. Okay. And I don't listen to the only reason I listen to news at this point is because of crypto. Otherwise, I don't care what happens. Somebody tells me, I go to X and I find out, hey, we bombed somebody. Hey, but we're peaceful, but we bombed somebody. Hey, why did Donald Trump, why has Trump launched as many drone strikes as Joe Biden did in 4 years? Oh yeah, because he's peaceful. All right, yeah, that's right. I mean, he's blowing the peace out of people, right? Blowing them to pieces. We're not laughing, but it's true, by the way. It is true. You can go look it up. I mean, yeah, we're blowing them to pieces because he's the president of peace. You know what I'm talking about? Every war in the world is stopped. Nobody's warring anymore, except when they're bombing each other. Israel's still bombing. You know what I mean? It's simple. Oh, God. But Timmy. Oh, anyway, we're down $24 billion. It's over. Bitcoin's going to zero. Right? It's going to zero, right? Anyway, so back to whatever I'm going to forget about in just a second anyway. No bull market indicators have been hit, which means that we're not done. For the channel, TerraCasino.io for all your risk-based gaming needs. We give away money all the time. So if you want some money, put your username in here. We're going to send Parrot34 $50. Terraport.finance if you want to trade Terra Luna Classic or any of the meme coins or anything like that. That is the place to go, Terraport.finance. Dev, we're not going to talk about Dev today because there's not really anything to talk about just for, you know, it's just right at this point, it's just conversation. There's nothing really happening here. Dev takes compliance, makes compliance continuous. 65 billion in real world assets waiting for real compliance. Now we are with Dev, it's real compliant. So when something happens, I will let you guys know. Or when I get the underlying sentiment that something's going to happen, I will tell you. If I get any inside information of any sort, or not even inside information, because I won't get inside information, but if I get any information that leads me to believe something might be happening, I will put it in the private YouTube chat. So you will see it, but you will only see it if you are a member of the channel that is a believer or higher, believers and higher, $4.99 a month. So, and that supports me and helps me. And if I have 3,000 people do that, guess what? Life is good. And I don't have to do shills anymore. By the way, I got a couple shills I'm going to have to do. COAI is up 47% on the day. Because it's over. God damn it. I forgot. It's over. M is up 10.3% today because, oh, God damn it, it's over. It's over. Forgot about that. Aptos is up 6% on the day because it's over. Oh, Useless up 11% because it's over. AIC is up 25% because it's over. Pepe is up 12%, you know, because it's over. KTA is up 12% because, you know, over. River's up 46% because it's over. Avanta's up another 18% today because it's over. Duh. Are you not seeing it? Nil is up 21% because it's over. Paparazzi another 17% because it's over. I think it's going to launch. As a matter of fact, they just reached out to me the other day, or at least one of the people that's involved with them reached out to me the other day about doing a couple more videos to get it ready because they're going to launch at some point real soon. So it actually is. I haven't said I've done it yet, and I haven't said yes. EVAA 69%. Duh, because it's over. I mean, duh. It's over. Duh. Fear and Greed Index is back into our range of 25 after yesterday's little weird dump thing. Seems like Chainlink is getting a lot of attention. Chainlink is getting a lot of attention because RWA is coming back around. The point to Chainlink is that it's bridging and allowing for real world asset transactions. And what's going on right now is you're seeing the flight into crypto from traditional finance. You're seeing it slow because the Clarity Act hasn't passed yet, and we don't have the guardrails in the framework right now for it. But when we do, it will blow up, and RWA is going to be the biggest one. And I mean, we'll look in just a moment at what the biggest ones are and why. But I told you before, accumulate. When Bitcoin is in this range right now, this is the time to accumulate. Get as much Bitcoin as you can right now. Just get as much Bitcoin as you can right now on this dip, because it's about to rip one more time and go ever so much higher. Look, the money's not flowing into gold for no reason. It's flowing in as a safe haven. Is it a buy? Let's look at that in just 1 second. Yesterday, oh my God, look at the outflow of Bitcoin. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, 477 million in inflows on the ETF. Sorry, I misread that. Duh. So by the way, just to kind of zoom out here, over the last couple days, you just kind of treaded water. So for 9 days now, it's about break even. It's about break even. It's a little bit down. It is a little bit down, by the way. It's not perfect, but yeah, it's down about 300 million over 9 days. We're down about 300 million in ETF flows over the last 9 days. How did Ethereum ETF do? Probably dumped completely. Oh shit, no. Wait, it went up 141 million. I mean, are we not seeing this? Like, you literally have people out here during a government shutdown when Donald Trump is having tariff wars with everybody, and they're all saying, it's over, bro. It's over. What the fuck is going on? I think money is flowing into gold as a FU to digital. No, it's not flowing in because they're dismissing Bitcoin. It's flowing in there because it's a safe haven. It's always been a safe haven. It's been a safe haven for 50 years before Bitcoin. It was still a safe haven. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really because of that. When people get tired of the pump on gold, the people who make money just by hodling, when that happens, then you're going to see the flight back into Bitcoin happen. That's what's going to happen. There's that opportunistic moment where the stars aligned for gold. People are getting nervous across the world. Everywhere, people are getting nervous about fiat currency and the continued printing, that money printer, that M2 money supply. The fact that people we're just continuing to print money means that people, look, money is free. Money is almost free at this point. Like, that's the part that sucks, is that you and I are not in on it, but money's basically free at this point for the people at the top. I mean, think about this. Elon Musk paid $270 million to install Donald Trump as the president, right? Hydrate. Elon Musk paid $270 million to install his own president, who then bucked him and fired him from the government, which is funny as shit to me for some reason. But he paid $270 million and he still has $500 billion. He don't give a shit. Because the money at the top is free. The money at the top is easy. It's at the bottom where it's very difficult. Okay, that's it. It's very difficult at the bottom. But at the top, money's easy. Money's absolutely easy. So, and by the way, all you have to do is throw a bunch of money into some of the safest stuff, which, by the way, is right here. And again, this is another problem in our economy right now, and that is those 10-year treasury yields. Now, it's at 3.974. So when you look at it, let's just say for Donald Trump, it's finally happening, okay? We're finally starting to see some cracks in the system here. Going back here to Joe Biden, 4.77%, okay? So bond yields are now down almost a full percent. Now, why does that matter? Well, because again, I'll put it this way. If I had $10 million to put in Bitcoin, I would put $10 million in Bitcoin, because not necessarily a maxi on Bitcoin. I'm a maxi on crypto, not specifically Bitcoin. But if I had $10 million to put into Bitcoin right now, yeah, I'll do it. Would it go down to 8 million in a heartbeat? Yeah, probably. Would it go up to 15 million at some point soon? Probably. And by the way, I wouldn't want to put it in right now at 107,903. I would be waiting to see if I could find a dip and find a spot for that dip. But then I would go all in on $10 million and I would make a whole bunch of money. But guess what? There's also the possibility that it goes to zero, because that is the way that the world works. There is always that risk. But you know who never defaults on their loans? Uncle Sam. U.S. 10-year treasuries have never defaulted, right? So what are you going to get if I put $10 million into 10-year U.S. treasuries? $397,000 per year to live on. Could I live on $397,000 per year? The answer to that, yeah, probably. Probably have a pretty good life. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, you won't have a big house. You'll have a nice house. You won't have a giant house, but having $10 million to being a wealthy individual, $10 million, getting 4% per year, that's 40 grand. Again, that's paying you $400,000 per year, roughly. And all you have to do is let your money sit with the U.S. government. That's it. That's all you have to do. Think about how simple that system is for fat, ugly, old broads with golden hair, despite being 94 years old. And they wear gold everywhere, just to let people know. And they say things like, pardon me, but do you have something gray I could poop on? Or whatever they do with that fucking mustard. I don't know. But I mean, it's easy money. It's almost guaranteed money. It eliminates the risk. So it's very easy to go into this market right here. It's very interesting. It's very easy. Now, if you were to go to Coinbase, let me see here. Oh, God damn it. I guess I gotta. Son of a bitch. Internet's gay. Huh. I look for the yield right now for USDC. Here we go. All right, there it is. All right, so check this out. If you put that same $10 million into Coinbase, whom I do not trust, by the way, I want to let that, I do not trust Coinbase, okay? But you could earn 4.25%, but I don't trust them. So would I take the 10-year treasury that I know is definitely 100% going to pay me historically? Or would I take this shit show that stole money from me multiple times on deposits because they were quote unquote unsupported? Do you know that Solana, that Coinbase still does not support USDC on Solana? Do you know who the biggest owner of Circle is? If you said Coinbase, you're right. They don't support USDC on Solana. So when I sent my USDC on Solana to Coinbase because Coinbase supports Solana, they kept my money and they will not give me my money back, by the way. So Coinbase, it's a fucking scam. And, I wish I could say something about the U.S. government. I wish I had some kind of piece here where I could just say, like, it disgusts me what these people do, okay? That it disgusts me. And the fact that this is not a bigger issue as they steal your money. And by the way, are they using that money? I don't know. I don't know. Here's what I do know. If you send an unsupported asset to Coinbase, you can't even get it back. That's a scam. No matter how you look at it, that's a scam. USDC, that they are the biggest shareholder of, Circle, Coinbase, USDC, they don't support it on Solana. Think about it. So anyway, 4.25% for a scam, or 4% for a U.S. government, which is also a scam, but that's a different conversation. So it's kind of wild. It's kind of wild. Now, the question was Chainlink, and will Chainlink be a good investment at this? Oh, hell yes. Listen, this is rally, like, so you're coming down. Whoo, god damn. So for splitting hairs right now, set a buy at $16.50 maybe, in case of a dip down here. That doesn't mean that's not going to be the bottom. Doesn't mean that it won't come down. I mean, if you kind of zoom out here and let's throw up a volume profile and see where the biggest range is. So the biggest range is $14.33. So there's a possibility of seeing it come down to $14, around $14. And by the way, remember, these nodes are where, this is where it gets attracted to. But it'll also be attracted to $18.57 at some point very, very soon. It'll also be attracted to $20.03 pretty soon. Then it'll also be attracted to $23.60 as well. So Accumulating right here would not be a bad idea, but there is still some downside potentially that you could see. Now, ultimately, when you start zooming out and you start moving around, and you say, well, it all just fell down. Yeah, dumb, but it's also still in a massive uptrend, and we haven't even met the bottom of that uptrend. And we've dusted on it for over a year now. Whoops. Hit it, hit it, hit it. That's about $12 right there. I don't think we're going to hit that again for a while. I don't think so. Anything could happen, but I mean, set yourself a buy order at $12.50 if you think that it's going to come down there. I think more likely, again, in that $16.50 range, somewhere like that is probably more likely, but that doesn't mean that I'm right. It means that that's what I see on the chart right now. So an entry into Chainlink right now, probably going to serve you very, very well. And remember something else along with it. The most important part to this is RWA is going to be the hottest asset in crypto. In AI might be number one, but I think RWA is going to be number one. Okay. It'll be a fight between the two. So if you don't have any right now, be a perfect time to buy some BitTensor. If you don't have any right now, be a perfect time to buy some Fetch AI, be a perfect time to buy some Near Protocol, be a perfect time to get some of those AI assets. But let's go look over here. And boom, 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 boom. RWA, number one RWA protocol is Chainlink. There you go. Number 2, Stellar. Number 3, Avalanche. Number 4, Hedera. Number 5, Ondo. Number 6, Algorand. Then VeChain. Then Sky. Going down this list. Look, here's what I would be saying. I would be finding some of these down here at the bottom that kind of feel like they have that big opportunity. I would be looking for those. By the way, look at Mantra. Remember the collapse of Mantra? I'm still accumulating, by the way. I just bought some more Mantra. It's down 96%. And that sounds like shit until you go down this list here and you start to look around and you see that Avalanche is down 50%. Hedera is down 40%. Ondo's down 50%. Algorand's down 50%. VeChain's down 60%. They're all struggling. There's only a couple. Tether and Pax Gold, Maple Finance, and Zebek. Those are the only 3 that are pumping out of the top 300. They're not pumping, but they will. RWA will when the Clarity Act happens. The other thing was AI. AI, I think, is the other big one, and that's BitTensor, that's Near Protocol, that's Story, that's Internet Computer, that's Render, that's Filecoin, Injective, The Graph, Fetch, Theta, Dexy, Virtuals, Ether, Origin Trail, the BAT token. There's plenty of different cryptos out there for AI that are also going to take off. So look, to me, these are the narratives that are going to matter going into this market. Dev is an RWA. And by the way, I reached out to the dev team to tell them that they should probably change it. And now I don't know if they did or not. Because their tags, where the hell are the tags that used to be on here? Oh, here we go. Gaming, DeFi, and smart contracts. I told them that they should put RWA in here. Payments, real estate, marketplace. Like, God damn it. Like, it's right there in front of you. Gaming, marketplace, real estate, and payments. It is RWA. Like, geez. Like, I guess it wasn't that important. I tried. Anyway, but RWAs, AIs, get some of those, okay? But at the end of the day, everything that you do, everything that you are doing in crypto, and this is my opinion, I can't tell you what to do, all right? But everything that you are doing, or what you should be doing, is converting your winnings, your money, into Bitcoin for that next leg. Money that you don't plan on spending, by the way. Don't, look, if you plan on cashing out $5,000, don't just put that $5,000 into Bitcoin thinking that it's going to pump and you're going to get $6,000 back out of it or something like that because you don't need it for a little while or something like that. I mean, pay your bills, do whatever you got to do at the end of the day. And then with whatever's left over, just buy some Bitcoin. Just buy some more Bitcoin. Buy some more Bitcoin and buy some more Bitcoin. If you put, I think somebody said that they were putting in $30 a week at one point. Some guy was putting in $30 a week just buying Bitcoin, $30 a week out of his paycheck. He's been doing it for something like 10 years. The guy's a multimillionaire at this point, right? He just started a while back, started putting $30 in every week, and boom, life forever changed by just doing something that simple. $30 a week out of your paycheck into Bitcoin. Life has changed. Do the same thing with your crypto assets. Just continue to accumulate more and more Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the leader of the market. It is the thing that's going to drive everything. So as far as the rest of the market goes, everything is down. Some of it down double digits at this point. So Dow Jones, let's go look at the Dow Jones and let's see what is the reason that we're getting dunked on so far today. Down 171 points. Stock slipped after latest raft of earnings. Netflix drops. Gold suffers biggest drop in more than a decade. Visa enhances influence among Dow Jones stocks with innovation. Stocks tick lower as earnings report rolls in. CNBC says Netflix slumped. Intuitive Surgical shares rallied 16%. Texas Instruments came under pressure today. Traders seem to be hesitant to take stocks markets higher so far today, amid reports that U.S. corporate earning outcomes for Q3 have been much better than expected. There may remain some worries about guidance from management as the U.S. corporate earnings season expands to encompass more stocks and more sectors. Mustafa said, there we go. I have sent 2 billion B gone in Coinbase. By the way, you're going to get that pretty soon, Mustafa. So it is my understanding that Coinbase is about to list BNB, that this is something that should happen by the end of this year. Again, rumor, and I have BNB, by the way. I have 2 BNB on Coinbase as well. So I'm going to get my BNB. Turns out that was a great investment to lose my BNB at, I want to say it was like $200 at the time or something like that. It was one of those low prices when I moved it over because I was like, I need $500 or something like that. So when I get my BNB, holy shit, it's going to be amazing. Really, it's the USDC, though, that matters to me the most because that was, actually the BNB is probably worth more now. Ain't that a bitch? Anyway, strong results from Coca-Cola and 3M. Everything looks good, but people are not pumping the market. So it's going to happen. Anyway, long story short, guys, everything that you do should be about Bitcoin. It should be about getting more Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the thing that drives the market. And it's going to get even bigger, even more important, and you're going to get left behind. Okay. Derek says, I would stay away from Fetch. They have some major problems. That's an opportunity to buy a dip the way that I see it. So unless it's really, and by the way, you never know how bad it's going to get and how bad the bottom is going to be on it. But that looks pretty bad. And this really looks like an incredible opportunity. At the end of the day, Fetch is still the biggest AI marketplace. Well, I guess, you know what? BitTensor has been kind of, the subnet's right there, but the subnets are kind of decentralized. So it's a little difficult to navigate. It's not incredibly easy to navigate BitTensor at this point. So it will be. It'll get way better. But Fetch AI, you can just go to fetch.ai and boom, you're in there right now buying AI dApps and shit like that. So they make it very, very easy at this point. So at some point, again, there has to be a narrative. The AI narrative not doing anybody any favors right now. RWA not doing anybody favors right now. We're still down ultimately in this market, but there will be a big reversal. It will happen. So when it happens, it doesn't really matter what's going on right now, except that it's an opportunity to buy a dip. But Fetch AI at 24 cents, after the last time we had that altcoin season, it went to $3.47. Seems to me primed for an easy 15 or 20x. Seems easy at this point. Now, that would require, by the way, fingers crossed, BitTensor to do a nice little 10x, which I'm in full support of there. But BitTensor, very strong, very strong. So anyway, that's it. I got to go to the doctor today. So he wants to see how I swallowed a gun. I don't know what he's talking about. Anyway, I got to go to the doctor. So we'll see you guys soon. It's not financial advice. I'm always right. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. The one thing, by the way, if you're still here and if you're listening to me right now, what I would ask you to do is one very small thing. I know you hit the like button for me every day. The other thing that you can do that is pushing the algorithm for YouTube right now appears to be the share button. So if you would take a moment and share this content on either Facebook or X or both, I sure would appreciate it, so that more people come in, more people check me out, and I grow the channel, because that's what I got to do. So if you guys would help me, then I think that would help you. By the way, the more I make, the more money that I make, the more giveaways I can do, the less stress that we have, and the more we can focus on other things. And again, I don't want to shill things that I don't have to shill. What I would like to be able to do is give you good projects all the time, and we can focus on the parts that matter. Again, like Bitcoin, stuff like that. So if you can share the content, that is the important part, apparently, in the YouTube algorithm right now. The more you share, the more comments you leave, the more likes you do on my stuff, the more people see it, the more people get an opportunity to consume my content, and the more I get an opportunity to grow. So I would appreciate it if you would help me out. It's not financial advice, but I'm always ready.
They call me please, I'll do